favorite part of my job is being part of something that I could look back on and say that I built. There's places in the city that I could drive around to and point and say I did that foundation there.
Seeing the completed project when it's done gives you kind of a good feeling of pride that you've done something like that or were part of a project like that.
You get to see everything that you've put into it come to life.
My favorite thing about my job, leaving at the end of the day and seeing that we accomplished some things, getting work done. I love my job. I've been doing it for 23 years.
Just as important it is to get the job done, it's what you do after work with your family and friends is probably the most important thing in life.
My family, when I leave the house in the morning, they expect me home at night.
Safety, safety, safety.
Safety is important because it can save your life. Simple as that.
That's why all the safety PPE comes into effect. The work area, the meetings we have about the work areas, your safety glasses, your hard hats.
You have to look up, you have to look down, around, behind you.
Each day we talk about just the safety checks, make sure your harness is in safe and working condition, there's no tears, just making sure everything's in working order.
Awareness is a key thing. You know, we try to talk to the guys every day, make them aware of things that are changing on the job, things that might be different today. If there's a crane doing a lift, if there's a new trade on the job doing different type of work, we try to pass that along to the men and let them know to look out for these things and be aware of it.
Sometimes you take safety for granted, but all it takes is one incident and it can change your whole life. Your life and your family's life.
There was a guy in Jersey, a tape measure fell off of a job. Driver coming in, didn't have his hard hat on, he lost his life that day. So, you know, this can be the difference between going home and not going home.
I was on another job for another company, and we were exchanging a high voltage breaker in a live panel. And we had everything that we needed to safe off. We had the rubber mats, we had the no-make suits, we had the face shields, we had all of our tools protected, except for one screwdriver. Somehow his screwdriver touched across metal and the breaker and exploded right in front of us. And I feel if it wasn't for the safety gear and if it wasn't for the face shield, our eyes could have been damaged for life.
I've seen near falls happen, and thankfully there's been things in place to prevent someone from falling off the edge of a building.
One gentleman was probably about 10 feet off the ground. The ladder kicked out, he fell, and he was properly harnessed off and everything, and he was caught by the harness. We made fun of him and everything like that, but he went home. He went home without any injuries, and everybody was happy.
Safety to me is number one because every man that shows up for work has the responsibility of going home to their family the same way they came in.
At the end of the day, we want to make sure that everyone is safe and able to get home to their families.
I get to go home, see my kids and my wife, and live on and keep doing what I do.
One of the best feelings I've ever felt is actually pulling up to my own house. There's my wife and there's my children playing out back, and I wouldn't replace that for the world. Hunter Roberts, we care.
Hunter Roberts, we care.
Hunter Roberts, we care.